Like Joey Votto, we are back. Only we were here yesterday. But
you were.
I was, but we are back.
We're back.
Again. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the program. Today is the last day of spring. And about this time tomorrow, well, it will be.
Yes.
This time tomorrow, it will be summer. So folks that are waiting for summer to begin, it's about to happen.
Will be official.
It's about to hit the fan, as they say. But it's in a good way because we've got decent weather, dealing with a scattered shower or two here and there, but that's fine. We need the rain.
We needed the rain. Those stressed areas in my yard are slowly but surely disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you see Shirley in his yard, you'll know.
Get out of there.
All right, coming up in just a moment, news and information. But first, let's take a look at how the weather is playing out for us. As you can see, we have some moisture in the air to the east of us.
Yeah, it's kind of an on and off system that's moving in here because, as you can see, everything's moving from east to west. That's because there's a low pressure system, and that's why we're not getting rain out of the typical west-southwest direction. We're getting it from the east and sometimes from the south. But we think that we'll have some on and off showers throughout the day today, mostly overcast. Don't expect to see a whole lot of sunshine during the daytime hours today. High 75, and from what looks like some sunshine, but with a chance of some showers almost each day through next Tuesday. So we're really going to have a chance to make up for some of that dry conditions that we've had.
Yesterday we had a special edition of Litter Media Live, and Tim Boltonhouse was here. And as I stepped out, it was raining on my way in. And then when I went down to answer the door, the warehouse opened it up, and the sun was popping out. And I'm like, what is this thing? But it was only for a short moment.
I think we had just under a half inch in Frankfurt when I checked the gauge this morning.
You know, I told you about my rain gauge. Bought a brand new rain gauge. It's a big thing. It stands about, well, it doesn't fit on our screen. And it's about this big around as well. And so it's going to hold water. Mm-hmm. Well, remember you had like an inch and a half of rain that night, and it showed on mine only like a quarter inch. Mm-hmm. Well, I come to discover that I didn't have it set right. There was I thought it was a funnel part, but what the funnel part was that I was thinking, that's a part that you take and put on the bottom of the rain gauge and stick it in the ground.
I see.
So that was why we weren't getting measurable rainfall. Now, let me take it a step further. I was on my way out to water the tomato plants the other night, and I thought, I'm going to pour some water in here, just see what it looks like to have it. Water was trickling out of the bottom of it.
That won't work.
And it won't work because there was a seal that goes around the bottom of it. You could see where the seal was broken. Brand new rain gauge, and I still don't know how much rain we've had.
Almost like the cup that I had at a local restaurant the other day, little pin-sized hole in the bottom. I thought, where's all this cup? Yeah, so they were kind enough to give me a new cup.
He ends up wearing his drink. All right. Coming up, we'll take a look at the news of the day, but first we want to tell you about our friends at Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. That's a magical number, because when you call that number, you'll get a hold of these folks, Scioto Valley Dumpsters. They'll provide a dumpster for whatever you're doing, whether it be residential or commercial, and then they'll haul all that stuff away for you. It's that simple. Give them a call. Tell them Dan and Mike sent you. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. News is next.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
It is news time, and stick close. We'll have sports for you, too, and our revolutionary moment for today. But first, what is making news on our website, littermedia.com?
Yeah, the Friends of the Lucy Hayes Heritage Center will have their annual meeting this Saturday. It's 1 to 3 p.m. After some brief business was taken care of, they'll have light refreshments, including lemonade Lucy's drink. Now, the event is free and open to the public, where you can also view the newly installed stone memorial bench dedicated for the late board member Melody Smith, who recently passed, as well as their First Lady's Library, largely accumulated by David Tillis. Now, the World Heritage designation for the Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks is coming, of course, this fall, and it's expected to greatly increase local tourism. At the annual meeting, Melody Young, director of Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau, will be on hand, speaking on what this means for the community in general and, of course, for the Lucy House. It's day 3, official day 3 for the Pickaway County Fair, and here's today's schedule.
Looking at the horse show, which is already underway, and they have sign-ups for the kiddie tractor pull. If you've never seen the kiddie tractor pull, you got to see it. It's a lot of fun. And then they've got face painting for the kids, and it looks like it's a lot of kid stuff today. And the Midway rides open up at 1 o'clock. Sheep show at 4 p.m. Motocross will be on the grandstand tonight, 6:30, and they'll have motocross fast tracks taking place at 7 p.m. So they got practice at 6:30. You'll see a lot of motorbikes showing up, and it's just an absolute blast.
For those of you outside of Pickaway County, if you've not been up to their fairgrounds that were kind of renovated a few years back, you got to go up. It's really a neat place to just kind of mosey around and enjoy the county fair.
And clean.
Yes, sir.
Clean as all get out.
Absolutely. Pike Lake Appalachian Music Festival is this coming weekend, June 24th. Everyone's welcome. It's a free event. The first band will kick it off at noon. There will also be a different band playing every hour until 8 p.m. So come out and enjoy the music at Pike Lake this weekend. Save the date of the Pike County Agricultural Society annual Independence Day campout at the Pike County Fairgrounds. Now, this will run June the 30th through July the 2nd. A lot of family fun and activities, so bring your little firecrackers. I think that's reference to kids.
Yes.
More details to follow. Of course, Ohio has a new law that went into effect last year. You can set off your own firecrackers now. So.
Yeah, but help the people doing the actual show by not doing that.
Yeah, not during the show. Staying on that kind of a theme, Canal Kaboom returns on July 1st in Waverly. Bring your friends, family, and some comfy chairs to Bristol Park for their best fireworks yet. Mark your calendar for July 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Ross County Agricultural Society in conjunction with the Mid-Ohio Jeepers organization as they present the 6th Annual Ohio Jeep Fest at the fairgrounds here in Ross County. Tickets and information can be found at ohiojeepfest.com.
I posted a picture when my Tucson died. Santa Fe died. We needed a new vehicle. Stumbled into a Jeep, and so I posted a picture of it, and I said, so now can I officially be a member of the Mid-Ohio Jeepers or run through Jeep Fest, that kind of thing? And they said, absolutely. I'm not taking my car through that kind of a mud hole there.
I was going to say, if I see you coming to work that muddy, I'm going to know you've been in the back row.
And mine's not a Wrangler. Yeah. If it was it's a Renegade, and it's 2-wheel, not 4-wheel.
Yeah, so. There you go. Shelter House Laughs is back. Join Lori Graves as she welcomes Brian Harris, also Mark Perkins and more. And that's, of course, here in Chillicothe. They'll have Up and Smoke food truck on the site. Tickets available through the First Capital Enterprises website, with the proceeds, of course, benefiting First Capital and the great work that they do here in our community. Southern Ohio Corvette Club and Adena Mansion and Gardens are teaming together for a benefit car show July the 22nd. Now, I know that's about a month away, but put it on your calendar, because proceeds for this event go to the Adena Cancer Center. The car show registration that day is at 9:30 a.m. until noon, with a fee of $15. And be watching for our Litter Media Live Fairfield County Special Edition at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning as I speak with Jeanette Haberfield of the Fairfield County Visitors and Convention Bureau. We spoke with Jeanette on February 15th of this year, but tomorrow's show will be talking about all of the summertime activities that are happening in Fairfield County.
And her last name is actually Haberfield. Those of you wondering about the
yes,
the screenshot, it's just a still shot of Mike's previous interview with her.
Yeah, and
so it's not Jeanette Haberfield.
Yeah, you notice I didn't have my jacket on, but February 15th, it must have been chilly.
Yeah.
A road report in Pickaway County, State Route 56, between 159 and 180 is closed through July for a culvert replacement project. And that is our topics for today on Litter Media Live. Sports coming up.
That it is. I was trying to read the computer screen there. And we have not discussed what our radio moments will be. We usually wrap the show up when we do it together with a radio moment from the past. So we'll have to figure something out.
Maybe.
Which is how we prepared the show when we were on the radio.
For 25, 30 years.
And it seemed to work out okay.
Fly by the seat of your pants.
Things went fine. And our revolutionary moment, can you give us a teaser?
Something that happened in 1776 involving a lady.
Okay. Details in just a bit, but first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you have the need for fixing your heating, fixing your cooling, fixing your plumbing, they can help. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. You can do the same with any of our advertisers, and it will take you either to their website or their social media to learn more about their services. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Up next, sports.
Budweiser beer, the king is second to none.
Who drinks Budweiser? You know the type. The people who grind. Those who don't back down. And the ones who don't quit. They say all people are 6 degrees of separation away from each other. But some are just a six-pack away. The people who share the same spirit, share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Time for sports. He's Mike Smith.
Yeah, nobody likes rising prices, but with inflation as it is, it even affects high school sports. Well, ticket prices are going to climb for the Frontier Athletic Conference sports contest for the 23-24 school year. All FAC schools will charge $7 admission for regular season high school games and $5 for all middle school contests. So even when an FAC school is hosting a contest involving a non-conference school, it's still going to be $7 for the high school regular season games. All ticket prices for tournaments, that's determined by the district and then later the OHSAA.
Now, let me throw this little tidbit in for you. Since you're paying more, that doesn't mean that you get to yell at the referees or the coaches or the players anymore.
No, we discourage that.
Yes.
Very much so. Yeah, we discourage that. Not a whole lot of happening in baseball last night. The Paints had the night off, but they are at home tonight against the Clinton Lumber Kings.
And forgive me, because yesterday when I did the show, I forgot they were off on Monday, and I went through this yesterday. But it is tonight, Scout Night. Wear your Scout uniform, you get in free.
Yes.
How about that?
How about that?
And it's not just kids. So if you're a Scout leader, I guess you can wear your uniform and get in for free too. And the Paints are right behind Lafayette Aviators by a half game in the standings, the Ohio River Valley division of the Prospect League.
Go get them paints. We probably should have led with this, but I might have got too excited. The Reds won their 9th straight last night, and they welcomed back Joey Votto in a very special way. He hit a home run, and he drove in 2 runs. I think they said that he never had a 3 RBI game all last season.
Wow.
And he had it last night on his debut game because he's been out with recovering from a shoulder surgery 10 months ago.
Yeah. I'm surprised at how well he played in coming back.
Yeah.
His juices had to be flowing yesterday.
Yeah.
Had to be. And if you haven't seen any of the social media stuff yesterday, he showed up in the clubhouse, and they put this on Instagram. I wish I could show it to you here. I didn't get it prepared for today's show, but he's in a full red. It's a double-breasted red suit, had a black shirt with a bolo, if I'm not mistaken, and a cowboy hat. Had the eye black underneath his eyes, batting gloves on, and he was dragging a bat through the hallway, and then he was chewing bubble gum at the same time, blows this bubble, and it pops and connects to his face, and it says, "I'm back." Joey Votto.
Yeah. 9 in a row. The Reds are in first place.
Yeah.
The Brewers lost last night, so the Reds lead by half a game. Now, they may lose 10 in a row after this, but I think everybody's saying the same thing. These kids are so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And Joey last night in the postgame said, being 39, he said, I got to really put it on here to keep up with these kids. But I think he's having a good time, too.
Well, I noticed in the pregame, he was talking earlier with everybody before everything started, and they were asking him about coming back, and he says, I don't want to let this group down. I wanted to come back, but I wanted to be physically ready to be able to compete for a championship team.
Yeah.
And he says, look where we are right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring them down.
Sure.
And he had 3 RBIs last night, and you can't bring too many down when you're bringing in the runs.
That's right.
In that respect. In fact, I jotted down, I made a post. I've scripted it out so I'd remember what it was I said. And he was, in this post-game interview, very personable. I mean, he was looking right at the camera, talking to the Reds nation, really. And it was almost as if Jim Day wasn't even a part of the interview. I'm just looking straight at you talking. And so my response was, thank you. Thank you, Joey. It seems that in the post-COVID era, he has embraced this fan experience.
Right.
Almost like he's had a chance to kind of sit back, think about, we didn't get to play games starting off in the COVID season, and he found out what it was like to lose the game for a bit. And in the twilight of your career, you kind of you lose some of that, and you start gaining an appreciation for what you did have. But I think about the times where we saw him cussing at himself at the plate, verbally out loud, and I thought at the time when he used to do that, man, if I'm sitting close as an adult, okay, it's one thing. But if my kid's sitting there with me, different. And how tough he was on himself, kicking himself in the tail. And you saw the competitor edge to him. Seeing him now having fun, it's almost as if he took all that stuff into account. What am I doing? I'm going to make this fun. Right. I'm going to have it be a fun ride out. And he embraced social media and driving the bus and all this kind of stuff, things he wanted to do after his playing career is done. We're seeing them poke fun of it. And he, on TikTok, is doing all kinds of things. On Instagram, he is out of his shell. Yeah. And I think that's made a big difference, not only for him, but also Red Legs Nation.
Right.
As well.
You know, they always say that baseball is a kid's game, but I think over the last 30 or 40 years, it got to be almost too businesslike. Yeah. And if you're a historian, you go back into the 20s and 30s, the great teams, the Gas House Gang, the St. Louis Cardinals, they were doing all kind of jocularity before games that Dizzy and Daffy Dean would be up in the crowd selling popcorn. I mean, things like that. I mean, and then they kind of got away from
They were
that.
doing a lot of the minor league things.
Yeah.
That you see like the Chillicothe
exactly.
Paints players doing here. That's one thing Gary Burbank always talked about when he came back. He said, I love coming to Chillicothe because it's a throwback to what baseball used to be before baseball took themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
And you just look at it, and suddenly it's like these guys are going, dang, we're getting paid to play.
Yeah.
This is cool.
It's become fun to watch again. And
really
winning doesn't hurt. One other note, the Guardians off last night as well. They open a home series tonight against the worst team in baseball, the 19-54. And I'm not giving you a year. 19 wins, 54 loss, Oakland Athletics.
And I think Cincinnati's trip to Oakland might have been the precipice of what we're seeing play out now.
Right.
They started to seem to get on a roll about that time.
Yeah.
And so let's see if they can make it 10. I know the last time they had a 10-game winning streak, Marty Brenneman said, if this team wins 10 games, I'll shave my head.
Yeah.
And that was one of the coolest moments. Plus, we got to see Amanda for the first time.
That's right.
And when I remember seeing her on screen, I looked at my wife and I said, is that his nurse? And I said, no, that's his wife.
Yeah, really. She's now on all the Laura Lean commercials with him all the time.
She's a really good gal, too. She's from Ashland, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And
I'm
fell in
sure
love with Marty Brenneman.
she keeps Marty humble like nobody probably ever in his life, and he needed that. So, yeah.
All right, coming up in just a moment to look at the Revolutionary Days and a radio moment just around the corner, right after these words from our fine sponsors.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade, Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Well, we turned the clock back to Revolutionary Days. And where is that taking us?
Well, this is a history-making event. Of course, the Revolutionary War was history, but this is something that is a first for women in the military.
Really?
1776, you say? Margaret Corbin was the wife of John Corbin of Philadelphia. He was an artilleryman in the Continental Army. Well, on November 16th of 1776, John Corbin was one of 2,800 American soldiers who defended Fort Washington in Manhattan from 9,000 attacking Hessian troops under British command. Corbin was killed, and Margaret, his wife, took his place at the cannon. She continued to fire it until she was seriously wounded in the arm. In 1779, Margaret Corbin was awarded an annual pension of $50 by the state of Pennsylvania for her heroism in battle. She was the first woman in the United States to receive a military pension. And this is an artist rendering of Margaret Corbin. It's a mural that is found in the lobby of a building in the Washington Heights area of New York City. Bless you, Margaret Corbin, for your efforts on the battlefield.
Picking up that gun and going at it.
Yeah.
Imagine when you had to do chores, you listened to what she had to say.
Margaret had something to say, you better listen. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I'm right at it.
Yeah.
Radio.
I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
Nothing for you?
I have nothing in my head today. That was a Dizzy Dean line. Yeah.
I was thinking, we were talking about the Chillicothe Paints a while ago, and I was thinking about the storied history that this being their 30th season that they have had here in Chillicothe, and I've been honored really to be a part of their organization. Yes, I've been paid at times by the Paints, but not. I didn't make a house payment because of it, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
That sort of thing. But we've had a long time relationship with them. Dr. Hanners reached out to John Rose and I back when the Paints were an inception. And so asked us if we would be willing to be the first broadcast crew, and we were. I remember that opening night was awesome. Mm-hmm. It rained like cats and dogs, and they did everything they could to get things up and running. 4,000 people there that night. Yeah. It was a pretty nice event. But as we mentioned Gary Burbank a while ago, he fell in love with the Chillicothe Paints. I don't know how many times he's been back. And a lot of people have fallen in love with the Paints. And I think a lot of people still are in love with the Paints. I looked the night of the truck parade when there were thousands of people downtown. The attendance figures for the Paints game was still 1,700.
Wow.
Out there.
That's great.
There was a little over 4,000 people there for the Veterans Appreciation Night on Friday. So tonight is their last game of this week at home. So if you've not been out to see the Paints this year, take advantage tonight, and they've got two teams they're going to be facing over the next 4 nights after tonight. They go to Terre Haute, Indiana. They'll play Rex baseball at the start of this. Then they'll go to Marion, Illinois, with the Thrillville Thrillbillies. I hadn't stumbled onto that name until this week. The Thrillville Thrillbillies in Marion, Illinois. They'll play back-to-back games there Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday they'll play Rex baseball again before boarding the bus and heading back here to Chillicothe. And they'll be here on Sunday. So if you want to see Paints this week, you got to see them tonight at VA Memorial Stadium. But Kevin Rao, he was the guy that replaced us, if I'm not mistaken, when we started doing other things radio-wise. I'm trying to remember who all. Ryan Mitchell, who's now the voice of the Columbus Clippers, was a radio voice of the Chillicothe Paints. And now Jacob Wise is holding down the fort.
Matt Andrews was there.
Matt Andrews was there, too. And Matt is the voice of the, not only with the Ohio State Buckeyes, but is he still doing Louisville?
That I don't
Bats?
know.
I was thinking when Joey Votto was doing his rehab assignment with Louisville, that they played in Columbus and he hit a home run, I thought it was Matt that was doing the broadcast. It sounded a lot like Matt Andrews. Whether it was or not, I don't know. I can't say that, but I thought it did sound like him. But we've had a storied history with the Chillicothe Paints here, 30 years. Who'd have thought that first year or two that they would still be going 30 years later?
Yeah. And Dr. Hanners, who's in now the Frontier League, which the Paints no longer are in the Frontier League, he's in their Hall of Fame because of the contributions he not only made to Chillicothe Paints baseball, but that movement to get that league started. So.
And along with Doc, you've got Scott Pannoni in the Hall of Fame. You also have Mitch House, Gator McBride, Travis Garcia, and there's one more player that escapes my brain right now.
Not the newest.
But the newest was released yesterday. There's not an official release from the Frontier League yet, but Commissioner Bill Lee, who's now Commissioner Emeritus on his Facebook post, posted the new names. That includes Darren Kinsolving, who played with the Chillicothe Paints from 2001 through 2003 during their Frontier League days. Reached out to Darren. We've chatted through Facebook, and we're going to do an interview tomorrow, and we'll hopefully have that for you on Thursday to be able to release and have some information on the website. He's now with another former Paint, Phil Warren, who's the manager of the Gateway Grizzlies. In the Frontier League. So it's really neat to see that these guys, after their playing days, what they're doing.
Sure.
Good to see he's still involved with baseball.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Darren.
Absolutely. All right. Tomorrow, anything special?
No. Just a Wednesday show.
Mike's just going to show up, sit down, and do this
Live
all
life.
again. You bet.
See what happens.
That's the way it goes. All right, so make sure you join us for another edition of Litter Media Live. And we have all sorts of things on our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page and our Twitter page as well. So don't forget to follow Litter Media. For Mike Smith, the icon, I'm Dan Ramey. We'll see you tomorrow.